If you've been watching the macro markets lately, you might think tokenization is still just a future concept. It's not. On a span of just 48 hours, the entire landscape transitioned from theoretical testing to live, multi-billion-dollar production. On July 15th, the DTCC, which holds $114 trillion in traditional assets, went live with its DTC Tokenization Service, with JP Morgan and Citadel converting real equities and treasury bills into digital assets. And today, July 16th, Japan's largest financial group, SBI, announced a massive partnership with Ondo Finance to bring Japanese equities on-chain, settling them entirely in Japan's first regulated trust-backed yen stablecoin, JPYSC. The infrastructure is being laid right beneath our feet. In this video, I'm breaking down exactly how this new $250 billion SBI corridor works, why the regulatory framework in Japan is putting the US to shame, and how I am positioning my portfolio to collect the transaction tolls on this new financial plumbing. Let's look at what SBI and Ondo actually just built. This is a direct financial bridge. Ondo Global Markets is going to issue tokenized versions of Japanese public equities on-chain. These are some of the most liquid stocks in the world, covering massive global names in automotive, robotics, and gaming. Traditionally, if you are an international investor wanting exposure to these Japanese assets, you deal with painful settlement times, currency exchange friction, and restricted market hours. By tokenizing them, Ondo makes these equities tradable 24/7, highly composable with global DeFi, and instantly settled. But the real genius of this deal is the currency layer. Historically, if you wanted to interact with real-world assets on-chain, you had to settle in US dollar stablecoins. That created massive exchange rate risk and friction for domestic Japanese institutions. Enter JPYSC. Launched by SBI Shinsei Trust Bank, it is Japan's first fully trust-backed regulated yen stablecoin. It runs natively on the Ethereum ecosystem because it is legally compliant and backed directly by trust bank assets. Japanese institutions can seamlessly use it for on-chain settlement and as collateral without jumping through regulatory hoops. This is a textbook blueprint of what sovereign tokenization looks like when a government actually provides a clear regulatory path. Now, how do we as investors actually capture value from this? Let me be incredibly clear. This is not investment advice. I'm not a financial advisor, and you should always do your own research. But looking strictly at the structural layers of how this new financial plumbing is built, three key players stand out. First, you have Ondo, O-N-D-O. They are the exclusive distribution layer for these tokenized products. Every time an investor accesses these on-chain equities, or holds yield-bearing RWA products distributed through SBI's millions of customers, Ondo's total value locked grows. Second, look at Chainlink. They are the decentralized data and transport layer. You cannot move these assets across different bank ledgers or secure the price feeds without decentralized oracles. Every institutional cross-chain transfer generates transactional volume that captures value. Third, look at Securitize, SECZ. As the dominant SEC-registered transfer agent, they handle the regulatory compliance of getting public assets safely on-chain. They are the minting engine of this entire cycle. The takeaway is simple. The plumbing is being upgraded. The DTCC is live in the West, and SBI is building the on-chain corridor in the East. But remember, macro volatility is still highly elevated. That's why while I am incredibly bullish on these toll booth assets, I am still keeping my core dry powder highly liquid and zero-risk cash ETFs. If you want to see exactly how I structure that defensive cash plan to make sure my powder is ready to fire, watch my dedicated guide right here. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.